Today we're doing something a little less traditional than what we usually do. It's just Maddie and me here today, and we are going to be doing a get ready with me and also talking about how we met, some of our goals, and just some icebreaker questions and getting to know each other better.
It's recording. Yay.
That's so good. We're putting our headbands on.
Hold on. What?
I said, this is so good. We're putting our headbands on.
I love
Mine,
this.
it was a little gift. I don't know. It's like this little pink one.
Mine, I don't know. I think I got it at Target, aka
I love it.
Target.
Okay, my hair is going crazy because I just showered, so we're gonna
Here.
ignore that.
I literally got a facial 2 days ago, so I'm like not breaking out, but it looks like I am. So
It's fine. All
yeah.
right, so we're gonna start off with skincare, and then while we're showing our skincare and doing it, we're gonna talk about kind of how we met and like where we were in our lives at that time.
We washed our faces. So we both already did this, but I used CeraVe, CeraVe. I don't know how to pronounce it. I really don't know how to pronounce this because I thought it was CeraVe. And then I see like all these different YouTubers pronouncing it differently. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel so bad about myself because I don't know how to pronounce this. Just being real. It's CeraVe and it's like the oily and normal to oily.
I have that exact one.
No,
I'm
I
not
literally,
kidding.
yeah, it's really popular. I literally hated it before because I was like, it's breaking me out. But like this summer, I started using it because my roommate had the same one, and I was like, "Slay, it's working." So then I got it, and it's like really good.
That's amazing. This one is the one I use in the mornings. It was a gift from my friend for my birthday, and I needed a new face wash because my other one was not working for me. It's low pH, good morning cleanser.
Oh my
Um,
god, it's the
it's
snail.
amazing.
It's the snail one.
Yeah,
Yes, I wanted to try that.
it's really good, and it's like I feel so refreshed after. I don't know how to describe it, but like I don't know. It's amazing so far. I love it. So highly recommend.
Girl, I might try that. I really wanted to
Definitely
try it
do.
because it has like the snail stuff. They have another snail stuff thing, and I'm like, oh my god, like I really want to try it.
Yeah, it's great. But okay, to start with our quote unquote skincare, even though we already did it, when Maddie and I first met, it was in the summer of 2022. So we were both rising juniors. And I remember before then, I was so unsure of what I wanted to do, like with my life. And I know being like halfway through high school, you don't really know what you want to do. But I was very panicked. And so I signed up for this Georgetown Medical Academy. And with the help of my dad and my stepmom, I decided to go and see maybe medicine is the route that I wanted to take. And it was going to be my first time ever on Georgetown campus and really getting to experience something like that for a week where you're staying in the dorms and you're kind of on your own for the time being. And so I was really excited, but I was so unsure of whether or not I was going to like medicine and if I was even going to make it through the academy when I was there.
So similar, kind of similar. I was never on a college campus overnight before this. I wanted to go to Georgetown really badly at the time, and I'd never seen it in person, but I really just loved the whole like vibe of it and DC and just I like it. So I decided to sign up, but originally I signed up for the law academy because I was really into true crime. And going back a few years, like when I was little, like I wanted to be a doctor, like I wanted to be a surgeon. And I remember in like 5th grade, my teacher like set up a like appointment with me and his friend that was a heart surgeon to like talk at Starbucks, and I remember that. Like I'll never forget it. And I wanted to be a heart surgeon for a really long time. And then I don't know when I switched, but I think I went to DC like for my cousin's like birthday or something. Like I don't know. I was in middle school for sure, and I was like, I saw the spy museum, and I was like, I want to be in the FBI. I thought this was so cool. I want to be in the FBI. I was like, didn't really know anything. I was just like, ooh, a spy. Like, that's cool. I didn't actually want to be a spy, but I was just like, okay. And then I started researching more things kind of like in that realm. And then I started being like obsessed with true crime. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be a lawyer. But these things were never like important. Like, I never like really did anything about it because I did not care that much. I was just like, oh, I want to be a lawyer. Oh, I want to be in the FBI. Oh, I want to be this. I want to be that. The only thing that I originally was really serious about was the heart thing. And then I was in law club, and I, no hate to like the lawyers out there, but I was like, this is so boring, no offense. And I like would just be thinking about like doing like surgery because we were doing like murder like law, I don't know, criminal law. And I wouldn't be thinking about like the law part. I'd be thinking more about the medicine part. And so that's when I kind of decided that I should look into the medical side. And I'm really happy that I waited to actually pay for the Georgetown course because I originally applied for the law course. And then after this experience, I decided maybe I should do the medical course. And that's when I did the medical course. That's when and kind of before that, as I was waiting to go to the program, I knew, ooh, brain, I love the brain, I love the brain, because my uncle died of brain cancer. So that was something that kind of like sparked my interest in the brain. So I went there kind of with an idea of like brain surgery. And I was there and I fell in love with it and I want to be a brain surgeon. So, yes.
I love it. That's so cool. I kind of forgot that you talked about all of like your, I don't want to say hyperfixations, but career hyperfixations for a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
But you've been set on neurosurgery now for years. Because I remember at the end of the week, you were set in stone on neurosurgery.
I was like set in stone before the thing, but I when I was there, I was really like exposed to it, like with the cadaver
Mhm.
labs. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, my stepmom was that year she had graduated from Georgetown. She graduated in one of the nurse practitioning programs there. I forget what it's called, but that's kind of what made me think that Georgetown was going to be like such a cool place. And also being like right kind of in the heart of DC in that area was such an amazing experience in of itself where you're exposed to everything. Everybody goes to DC, celebrities, politicians, top surgeons and medical professionals. And so again, by being at that academy, I was exposed so much. And well, we were exposed so much. And now I know, like, after that, I remember thinking, I need to do something in the medical field. And today, I'm still not sure what I want to do in the medical field, but I definitely know I want to major in public health and go from there, taking the pre med track. So we'll see.
Honestly, it's super like interesting that you wanted to do public health because I feel like a lot of people that were at that program are very much like no, I don't not no, but like kind of like we're looking more at the like surgery or like research side of it, and I just think it's cool that you got something else out of it. I don't know.
I know, it's crazy. I
Yeah.
feel like right now, if I had to like pick something I wanted to do, I would love to be like an OBGYN. I think they're like
Yes. I remember
so
you talking about that.
I remember you saying too, you were like, you would
Yeah.
be such a good OBGYN.
Yeah,
So
because you give
we'll
that
see.
energy off. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I love it. I think it's really cool. So I don't think I could do like delivery,
Oh,
but
no, no, no.
I think it's really cool. But like
The
Good for you, but
only
I think I would pass out. So,
No, the only thing after that birthing simulator at Georgetown, we'll put pictures up. We'll put pictures up. After that birthing simulator, I was like, oh my God, I want to be an OBGYN. Like, not literally, but I was like, I want to deliver the babies. And then I like actually thinking about it, and I was like, I don't want to be an OBGYN. I literally just want to deliver the babies because it's like surgery.
oh my gosh. Well, guys, for context, so one of the activities we had to do at Georgetown was the birthing simulator, like Maddie said, and it was an actual like dummy, and it was on the bed, it was in the hospital, it had all the vitals and everything.
And it talked. It
Maddie,
did. Wait, were you in my group?
yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it was so realistic. It was crazy. Like everything was there.
And
Maddie,
one person, wait. One person from the group, like it was in different, there was a few groups, but Sienna and I were obviously together. And we had to pick one person to do the delivery, and it was me. Okay, I was very excited. Now, Sienna, resume.
so Maddie like panicking about this, like it was so real, so I don't blame you. Maddie gets onto the bed with the dummy on there and like the baby, and is literally like up in this simulator's like area, and like literally like pulls the baby out.
Because it was like covered in baby oil.
Yeah, they covered it in oil, but I literally remember like about to like pee my pants dying laughing.
It was so
the
funny.
funniest thing.
And when I tell you, I did not realize that I was up on there. I did not realize it until everyone was like, what? And I was like, oh, sorry, let me like get down. But like, no, like I didn't realize it. I was just like doing it.
It was so funny. No, I think that was on one of our last days, and that like honestly was such a good kickoff. Like
that was the best day. It had to, like, it was.
It was so fun.
It was. It was like really fun. We got to dress up and like we sound like 2-year-olds.
Scrubs.
Yeah, and like scrubs and like surgical gowns, and then we went into the rooms. Remember Caroline found like all the needles?
Oh yeah, there was a ton of Caroline was one of the girls in our kind of group that we had. Yeah, there it was crazy, but it was so fun. All the things that we got to do there was just amazing.
Yeah, and if any of you guys are rising juniors or rising seniors or even rising sophomores, I'm not sure if you can do it as a freshman. You might be able to, but I would definitely recommend it. It's a super eye-opening experience, and I actually got to do the 3-week neuroscience program this summer, and I feel like for me it was great because I know I want to be a neurosurgeon and I want to pursue neuroscience some way. But the 1-week program was just like unlike anything else. I would like recommend that if you're unsure or nervous about going on a college campus or just want a little taste of college life. Like the 1 week is amazing.
I think going to any college at programs, so many different places have them. I know ASU has them, even Yale, Harvard, really almost any college or public university or private, just depending on the one, they will have programs. And so if you can expose yourself early on, it first looks really great on an application. And then second, it really helps you kind of know what you might want to do or what you might not want to do.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of applications, the Common App has opened.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we need to get into that once I finish the skincare because
I'm like waiting. I'm like eyeing my sunscreen. Yeah, I know. I'm like eyeing my sunscreen and I'm like
stop. Okay, so after I wash my face, I have 2 serums from The Ordinary that I use. I first have the hyaluronic acid because my skin is so dry, and so I need that. And then I also use the niacinamide after. And they're both amazing. Love them, and they're honestly really affordable. So if you have dry skin or your skin breaks out, I highly recommend hyaluronic acid and niacinamide.
Girl, I use the same ones, but like not every single day because I feel like it makes my skin like it feels like it's stuck. I don't know.
What I learned that happened to me, your face actually has to be damp when you use it. So like you have to make sure like your face is damp, and then you put a couple drops onto your fingers and then you put it on your face, because I know what you mean. It feels like sticky otherwise.
Yeah. Okay, wait. I'm going to try that like tomorrow or something. But
yes,
today,
tell me how it goes.
I will. I don't know how to pronounce this either. But it's a sunscreen that my cousin love him, bought for me because I don't know, he's into skincare. I would recommend
Ooh,
it. It is so good. I've been using it for like a week and I have not broken out from it. I have not, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like at first it gives a little bit of a white cast, but it goes away like 5 seconds later. And like you'll see, it's really good. I would recommend 100%. I just don't know how to pronounce it. But apparently it's like the ingredients are like really good. So I don't know.
love it.
Yeah.
I use the CeraVe um, AM moisturizing lotion. So it has an SPF 30. The other, what I noticed is they have an SPF 50, and that leaves a really bad cast. But this one it goes on like mineral sunscreen. It's so clear. And then I also sometimes, if I feel like bougie, I have the Supergoop, which is amazing. I love it. But honestly, if you want something like again affordable and like actually good, the CeraVe AM, it's great.
And I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, like sunscreen is super like selective. Like no hate to other brands, but I'll just say I used some popular brands before and it's like they break you out. You have to really like find don't go based off of like trends and stuff. You really have to go based off of like your skin type and I don't know, talk to like a professional, which is why we're here to interview them. I don't know,
Exactly.
but yeah, it's like it's kind of hard to go based off of what you see online because a lot of the people that I don't know, the people that I watch are older first of all. Their skin is more mature so they don't have like acne like this. Um or they either have different skin types from me or they live in a different place. I live in Florida and like it's humid and hot. So I don't know, my skin reacts different. I lived in LA before and my skin was completely different. So it kind of just depends on who you are. So I would just choose your products carefully. And I also wanted to say that I know I should probably use a moisturizer or something. The literal girl who did my facial told me I should, but I cannot find one that is good. So do you have any recommendations?
Let me think. The main moisturizers I use like is the SPF. But otherwise, I actually use an oil, which it's a rosehip oil, and that's been really good. But again, I have really dry skin, and so I need something kind of thicker like that. But I can definitely send you the brand. It's
Send
great.
me
I
it.
don't have it with me right now, but I will. It's amazing.
Yeah, send it to me. And I don't know if you tried the snail, like I think it's called Snail Mucin, but it's from that brand. I might get that because I want to try it, but I don't know if it's good or not.
I've never tried that. I've only used this, like the face wash, but definitely tell me how that goes too. And we'll give little updates
Yeah.
if we end up trying them out.
Okay.
Okay, I
Let's
think we should start on our main like makeup, get ready with me, and then we should also talk about how we met at
yes.
Georgetown. Okay. So, before we talk about how we met, I'm going to be putting on the Glossier Future Dew. It's amazing. You just use a little drop. It really makes you glowy. So if you're into that, I highly recommend it. I got it about a month ago and it's amazing. And a little bit does go a long way. So that's what I'll be using while we chat.
And I have not put this sunscreen on, so I'm going to do it right now. But I literally have wanted to try that Future Dew stuff for the longest time. I'm just so scared it's going to break me out because I have really sensitive skin. Like,
I think it's amazing. This is random, but it does kind of have a smell. It's not like a bad smell, but it's just kind of strong. But
okay.
other than that, it's amazing and I haven't broken out from it. So highly recommend, and it's very glowy.
Okay, just for everyone to see, like, it's on my hands. It's very oily looking. Also, I'm going to try not to get my headphones.
Headphones.
Mm-hmm. Which guys, and I swear I don't use these normally. I have like less bulky ones, but I tried to put on different headphones like the Apple ones that are not the AirPods, but like the ones with the wire, and I could not hear Sienna. So I had to use these. Sorry for me putting on makeup and having these bulky headphones, but it's going to have to do for today.
So let's chat about how we met. So for starters, we were not roommates, not in the same even dorm building.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a dramatic start for you getting into your room. Do you want to talk about
Mm-hmm.
that?
Yes, I had a very dramatic beginning at Georgetown. So I'll give you guys a little backstory about me so you can kind of hear the vibe. So I am a very anxious person, and at the time I was even more anxious before I like got on my meds. But but so I told my dad, because my dad and I flew down to DC, or up. I always say down because everyone's like, oh, I want to come down to Florida. I'm like, okay. But no, I guess up. So I flew up to DC and um we were there for like 2 days before. We saw the campus. I was like really nervous, but whatever. And we walked around. I felt like I kind of like had a grip of the whole place. Like I knew where everything was. I felt very comfortable because Georgetown's campus is not big at all. Like to any of the like seniors watching this, like if you guys are interested in a big party school, rah rah, like it is not the place. It
Rah
is,
rah.
yeah, rah rah. I don't know. If
That
you
was me.
if you are looking for a school that is like a big state school, this is not it. It's like you walk the whole campus in 15 minutes. Like it's great. I love it, but yeah, it's definitely not that. So, I kind of felt like I had a grip of the whole place. I kind of was comfortable, but I was like really nervous to like leave my dad because I never left my parents before like overnight, especially like in a different state because my dad was going to fly back the next day. So like I would be by myself there. So I said to my dad, like, let's go as late as possible. And so we went as late as possible at like 5 o'clock or 3. I'm not sure what time it was, but I know I got into my room at like 5. So I think I got there at like 3:30 or something. And there's a whole process. There's a huge line that you have to go through. First, to even check into the program, and second, to get your dorm. And this year, when I went, it was different. They actually put them together. So it was so much better. But the first year, when Sienna and I went, it was like horrible. And the line was 2 hours long. So I guess I didn't get into my room till like 6 or something because it was bad. Anyways, so I go through the process. I'm thriving and vibing. And I finally, oh, and I saw Sienna in line, by the way, because I was really nervous about the people that were going. I was like really scared that I wasn't gonna like meet somebody like me or like meet anybody that like was it like I don't know. I was just so scared because I didn't know what to expect. I've never been to DC. Like I was in DC, but I like never was in Georgetown. I don't really know the vibe, so I was very scared. But I saw Sienna in line, and I was like, okay, at least there's some other people that like look like they don't really know what they're doing.
Oh my god, that's so rude.
No, because other people like
I'm
other
kidding.
people other people were like there with their friends.
Yeah, no, that's so true. My
That's what I
roommate
mean.
actually went with her friend,
Yeah.
and she was so sweet. Nothing about that, but like I feel like having a friend there definitely would like make it a lot more comforting.
Yeah.
No, I was excited, but I was definitely pretty nervous at first. But I did meet a girl in line who was really sweet. She was in the law program and I still talk to her today. She actually lives in Florida too. So it's
Mm.
funny. She's in Fort Lauderdale, I think.
Girl, that's like like 20, no, that's like an hour away from me.
But it's a little off. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was definitely nervous. I did not see Maddie in line, but
No,
I'm assuming you were behind me.
no, I was in the line next to you and I was like looking around. I was so scared. And the reason why I say like you didn't know what you were doing, which you know what I mean, is
Yeah.
because everyone that I saw was there talking to somebody else or like with their friends. And I was like, I don't know any of these people. Like, what the heck? So I'm like looking around to make sure I'm not the only one. And I wasn't. And Sienna was there. But I didn't say anything because I was too nervous to talk to anyone or say any word. So I just saw her. And then I went in the other line to get my dorm. And okay, this is where the craziness happens. So the first dorm I had did not have a locking door. So I went down and I was like, this door does not lock, like whatever. And they're like, okay, we'll get you a new one. I'm like, okay. The next dorm I had, I'll put pictures because I have pictures of every dorm. So the next dorm I had was a very, very large dorm, and it had 3 beds in it, and the AC was broken. And I was like, I'm not
Ooh.
sleeping in no AC. Like, I am the kind of person that cannot sleep in heat. Like, I,
And also Maryland and like the DCA or DMV area is so humid during the summer because it's like downpouring and rain before and it's thick air. Like
it
it
is
is
so bad.
sticky.
It's bad. Like, I broke out there so badly when I was there. And this summer I came back and I was so scared. I knew I was going to break out again. So I had stuff and I was prepared and whatever. But it was so bad. I did not expect it to be that gross outside. Like, love the area, but it is so humid and hot. So if anyone goes to school there, just know that in the summer it's bad, but any other time is fine. Um, but so yeah, then I went back down, and while I was there was a girl in line, and her parents were like angry at the literal people because she kind of had like a weird, I don't know exactly what happened, but I think she didn't have a roommate or something, and they wanted her to have a roommate. Obviously, it's like the college experience. And she didn't, like, they were gonna leave the program because they were like very mad about the whole situation. Because I don't really know what happened, to be honest, but I think that's what it was. And then I said, I don't have a room either right now. We want to be roommates. And her name was Mary, and we became roommates. I'm so happy she stayed because she was the sweetest person ever. Like, she was so
She
nice.
is so nice and it's really funny because she was like so kind of I don't want to say quiet because she wasn't quiet, but she was really like sweet and
Yeah,
reserved in that way.
yeah,
And so when I heard that like her parents were getting really upset about it, I was like, really?
I know.
Also, I just put on the Glossier skin tint on my face. That's why I have all these dots. And then I'm also going to be putting on the concealer,
Wait,
which, yeah.
I'm like looking at my makeup stuff and it's not here. Let me go get the others while you talk.
Okay, well, I need to wet my beauty blender anyway. So we'll just take a pause.
Pause. This is so off topic, but I broke the hamper in my literal closet because, backstory, my when I first moved into this house like a few years ago, my parents like redid the closets. So I guess there's like a door kind of on the in a shelf that's like the hamper, and it like pulls out, and I broke the door like really soon after I got the closet, like really soon. I don't know how. I think I like stuffed the hamper too much because, not gonna lie, my room on the other side over here is like covered in clothes. But yeah, so my dad just fixed the whole thing. So shout out to him because he's like a literal handyman, I guess, with no
My dad's
experience.
the same.
Yeah, like my dad does not know how to fix things, but I guess he does. So slay, love you.
Love it. Okay, if this ends up like really bad, I usually have a mirror on my wall that I look into when I'm doing my skin and like my makeup. So
I don't know
if
if I
this
should
turns out
like.
terrible, I'm sorry.
No, you'll be fine, girl. But at the same time, I don't know if what I should do. Like, do I want to go for an actual? Like, I have options. So, oh, and I'm not doing foundation because I have foundation. I recommend this one, by the way, if you are in the market for one. It has like SPF in it. It smells like a little odd, but whatever. It's really good. But I'm not like in the mood to do that. So I have this, the Lumi lotion, which doesn't break me out, surprisingly, and this, which does break me out. And I don't really like
This
this.
day, I've heard so many good things about it.
I heard good things about it too, and that's why I bought it. But it broke me out. This thing is good, but I don't know if I want to do that. Like, do you think I can do that after 2 days after my facial?
Um, I feel like I don't know.
Eh.
That's tricky. I guess it just depends on like did
I mean,
your
the facial person said I could do my makeup, but I'm just like scared.
then
I'm
you
gonna
should be
like
fine. Like if the esthetician said you could.
Okay, and also, guys, I'm gonna set my iPad up for a little mirror because I like can't have room here with this microphone in the way. But okay, resuming, that was my story for the dorm. Sienna, what was yours like?
Mine was very seamless. So while
Lucky.
you had your struggle, mine was really easy. When I was in line, got my keys and just went to my room. But when I went in, my roommate she wasn't in there, but she had already fully unpacked, gotten everything out already. Her bed was made and everything, and I was like, well, I was trying to like predict who I thought like my roommate was gonna be like. I was like looking at her stuff, and I was trying to think like, okay, she has like this brand of this. What type of person I think would buy that? Which, don't stereotype, guys. That was really bad of me, but I was so nervous. I was really scared that I was gonna get somebody that maybe I didn't mesh with as much. My roommate ended up being amazing. I think she was from Kansas, and we got along perfect. But that was my first impression of the room. It was fine. I was in, I forget the name of the dorm, but I was in a completely different building than Maddie. Maddie, your building meshed different programs, right? I think you had law people in there too, or international relations.
I might have, but I just remember my floor was all medical.
Yeah, mine too.
I was in Reynolds Hall, by the way, so shout out.
I don't know. I don't even remember what. I'm so bad at names, but I remember we were right across from each other. So whichever. Yeah. Oops, Georgetown is like with the freshman dorms. It looks like a
U kind of.
Square.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Maddie, you were on. If we're looking at the square, you were on the left side, and I was on the right.
Like, so if you guys are walking in, if you're walking through, like, down where the dining hall is, and you're looking at it, mine is on the left side, and Sienna's is on the right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Or was yours in the middle? I don't know.
No, it wasn't. It was just right across from yours. I don't even know. It's so bad. I have terrible memory with that stuff, with names. I'm sorry, I'm not a name person, but it's fine. We were just in different buildings. That's all that's important. I'm now going in with the cloud paint and the color puff. I feel like I have a lot of Glossier. I don't know why. It's just worked for me.
Okay, I'm going to go in with the Tarte Shape Tape, but the ultra creamy version of it. And I'm just going to like put it on my under eyes. And okay, warning guys, I don't really like to use brushes because I feel like they break me out. So I just like dab it.
Me too. I just use my beauty blender.
No, like I want one, but they're like so expensive.
Mm-hmm. But then going back on how we met. So once I kind of got into my room and everything, it was easy, whatever. The first night, again, I actually had dinner with the girl who I met in the line in the law program, and I kind of met the people that she was kind of rooming with in that area. And we got along really well. I loved that group of girls too. And so they were kind of the people that on certain times I would just like go out with and do more of like going out for dinner or doing like the night things with sometimes, because obviously our classes were very different, but meshed really well with those girls too. But then when I met Maddie, I think it was the next morning, or it could have even been the second day.
Yeah, I think.
But I think it may have been the first after, like the night after we met, or the night after we got in. We immediately had classes. And so the way they worked is it was very strictly scheduled. So it was a pretty rigid day and agenda where you were up at a certain time to go to the dining hall and get your breakfast, and then everyone would meet at the bottom. For the first day, everyone met at the bottom with one of the RAs.
And wait, girl, can I say something?
Yeah.
I was thinking back to the Kelly interview, or I rewatched it or something, and you know how we were talking about the mentors? We did have mentors. They weren't the RAs. Remember, we had that guy Dylan who like saved us from that guy. We had my girl.
Oh yeah.
That's who we met.
You're so right.
So we did have mentors, but
if anyone watched that one, we did have mentors. Yeah, you're so right. And actually, what was his name? You said Dylan. I think you're right. That was his name.
Shout out to him.
He did save us. There was a kind of sketchy situation which we won't go too much into, but he was really cool. And he was actually oh my gosh,
Germs.
I cannot remember. Yeah, he was part of Germs, which is the group of people that drive the emergency vehicles, the ambulances around Georgetown campus. And so it was really, really cool that he was one of them. And all of the people who were our mentors, they were medical students. And so it was a really cool experience.
Or undergrad.
Yes. But it was still really a great experience for them to be there and give us their personal insight.
Girl, remember when Dylan was like, I got a 1600 on my SAT?
Yeah, perfect score. But it was I think it was out of the 2400 at that time, so it was
No, it
different,
was
but still.
16. It was 16. I talked to him
Oh,
after.
that's crazy.
He's
So
like, I
yeah,
failed
perfect.
English, but I got a 1600 on the on the SAT. I was like, okay.
That's crazy. Yeah, Georgetown definitely has some smart cookies.
Yeah. So,
But then when we were walking with the mentors up, so the first day you have the mentors kind of leading you where you are from the dorms. After that, you just kind of know your way and you go at your own time. But for the first day, we all met at the bottom outside of the dining hall and we walked up. And at that point, I started talking to Mary, who was Maddie's roommate. And I forget what we were talking about or how we were talking, but then somehow Maddie and I just started talking when we were going up. Do you remember what our conversation was about?
no, but I just as you said that, it like sparked a memory, and I remember I was like very very excited just to like be there. So I was like very hyper, and I was like, "Hey girl, like I'm so excited." Like whatever. And it was like I thought I scared everybody off, but I guess not.
Stop. Okay, I'm about to go in with this palette just on the highlighter one. My cousins got this for me. Again, I'm really bad with brands, but just this highlighter one. I'm just going to put it above the blush. So,
Okay, I'm going to go in with Merit. I love this. It's in the shade Beverly Hills. It's
ooh,
blush. I'm not
love.
really a makeup person. I don't put like I put makeup on, but like I don't put like a full face. So I just do
I'm
this.
doing kind of like my quote unquote every day. Sometimes I don't have the energy, but
Yeah. This
this
would
is
be my
the.
everyday if I were to do it every day.
But then I remember once we started talking, we were like, well, we need somewhere to sit because our first activity that we had that day was actually a lecture. There were a ton of lectures at Georgetown that we got to attend, which is really cool because they were done by either professors or other medical professionals in their field. And so we had a really good time doing that. But because we were in the lecture halls, you're obviously in a very big area and you don't really want to sit alone. And so Maddie and I were like, oh, should we sit together? And so we did. And we also sat with Mary.
I'll put the pictures
And
in. I'll put the pictures in.
yeah, we just got to sit together, go to the lectures. And that's when we really started to kind of get to know each other and become friends, I would say.
Yes, and let's just say for the lectures and stuff, we were like together the whole time. Our last names are not near each other, so when they like broke us up for the dissection, like we weren't together, unfortunately. But Sienna has pictures, so she will add them. But
A lot of pictures. Actually, Mary and I were partners for the dissection.
yes, you guys were. I remember that. But I, yeah, so we were together as much as we could be. And we took pictures at like every single. I remember we would like text my friends, or not my friends, but you know.
All the people.
Yeah.
There was, what was I gonna say? There was a ton of times where we got to do things together, even though we weren't necessarily in the same halls and stuff, just because our classes were they were the exact same.
Yeah, we were together in
And
class.
yeah, and one thing that was really cool that we got to do is you were given also a lot of free time outside of the scheduled hours. So, yes, the schedule at Georgetown was very rigid in the day plan with the labs and everything. But once the classes were done and you had curfew, you could really have free reign as long as you were back by the end of the curfew. So that meant you could be anywhere on campus, you could go down to M Street. Multiple times we just went down to M Street and did some shopping. And
Aritzia. Remember the Aritzia day?
yes, we tried on so many things in Aritzia. We were there for maybe like an hour and a half. It was amazing.
And I got these white shorts that were on sale for like $20, I think.
Yeah, it was incredible. And so it was really fun because also I think by being able to just have that kind of bit of freedom and just having a curfew, it gave you a lot of independence. And I think honestly that helped me a lot overall with my independence. Like I felt a lot more comfortable after that, like trusting myself and just being able to go out and feel comfortable and trust your gut again. And so I really also like that experience of Georgetown. And again, I think any other kind of sleepaway college program would do that for you, where you're able to have a little bit more reign in what you do.
I agree. I thought it was really cool. But there was this one time where we went out at night with like the group that like we kind of like hung out with because they were on my floor. Sienna joined along and it was great. But they were on my floor And we went out this one night because I did not want to eat at the dining hall because the food at the dining hall for the summer programs is the same every single night. So I was just like, ugh. So,
Okay. PSA, I loved it, but Maddie was not into it.
well, I was
Jonathan was
into it like once,
the first
twice, maybe
day.
3 times, but not every single night having like lettuce. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I liked it, but I'm
So,
just putting on the sorry. I'm putting on the bomb.com cookie butter. It's a seasonal one. Amazing.
I'm using like this European Wax Center brow stuff. I swear to God, it's so good. Like, it's brow gel. So use it.
Love.
Groom brow gel. I thought it had like a name, but it didn't. So, basically, we went out this one night and it starts downpouring and raining. And keep in mind, we have a curfew.
I'll be
Our
right
curfew,
back.
okay, our curfew was like at 9 o'clock or something, and we had this curfew, so we couldn't be out like late, obviously, because we had to be back by curfew, or we would get like kicked out or something. I don't know what it was. It was just like we'd get in trouble. So we were out getting me pizza, and all of a sudden, downpour, and it starts pouring, and it starts lightning, and it starts doing all this stuff, and it was like, what do we do? And I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, we gotta call campus police or like whatever and get us to get us. And everyone else in our group was like, no, we're not doing that. Like, it's fine, but like we would get struck by lightning. Like, I thought, obviously not, but it was the whole thing. I was so scared. Sienna, I couldn't tell if you were on my side or not, but we were.
Okay, TBH, I was just like, I want to get back because all I was thinking is if we call campus police, we're going to get in so much trouble.
Okay.
I know, like, we would, but I was panicking and I was like, I just want to get back.
No,
it
I
was
know.
like a flood of rain. It was crazy.
And we wouldn't have been able to wait it out. I'm pretty sure it was like still going on all night.
Mhm.
So it was just like we ended up walking back. I was so scared, and we got there, luckily on time. And I just remember running through the city in the rain. So it was fun, and I think I have a picture of it. I'll put it in.
It was definitely a panic when we were like in it, but looking back on it, that was honestly like one of the most entertaining parts of the whole academy, in my opinion, because we were just freaking out, but then it was so fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in with this mascara now. It's by Well People. I just started using it a few weeks ago and I love it. And this is the spoolie I have, and it's in the black shade. It's simple, but I love it. It gives a very natural look.
Okay, and then I'm also gonna go in with mascara, but before I do that, I'm gonna curl my eyelashes with this thing that I got on Amazon. And it has like it's one of those curlers that also has like the comb attached to it, and I've literally used it once, so I don't really know how it is, but whatever.
I've never used an eyelash curler. I have a couple times, but like I've never owned my own. My sister uses one though all the time.
I know my sister uses one too. That's why I wanted to get it because it looked really good when I used hers.
I like we're both silent right now trying to do this.
I know.
But I can't when I'm doing my lashes. I don't know. So after the academy, I really realized that medicine was for me. And I absolutely loved the hands-on kind of sciencey side of medicine. And also I think for me, I really found a purpose in pursuing medicine, and I really love the idea of helping people live better lives and healthier lives. And so that's really what prompted me after the academy. And so junior year, once I went back to school in Arizona, we start school a lot earlier usually than the rest of the country. And so I went back to school in the beginning of August and decided to do chemistry courses and join a club called HOSA, which I now love to compete in. And I really just got involved in the medical side of my school's activities and started just pursuing other things that I thought would be good to help me achieve my goals in pursuing medicine one day.
Yeah, okay, so similar with me, I already had started a Cancer Kids First chapter in my community. So if you guys haven't watched the episode with Olivia, go watch it. It was super.
So good.
Yeah, it was really good, and she's amazing. But so I started a Cancer Kids First chapter in my community. So I was kind of like involved kind of in the medicine field a little bit through that. And I was able to go to like I can't talk. I was able to go to a hospital, a local hospital, and volunteer with the kids in their like zone that they have for the kids, the patients, and we made friendship bracelets. And I was really inspired by this one kid that was there, um, that just really confirmed, alongside the Georgetown program, that confirmed my desire to go into medicine, specifically neurosurgery. Um, but yeah, I just began to kind of do the similar things. I began to really take advantage of the courses at my school that were aimed more towards medicine. So I took anatomy. Unfortunately, I was going to take anatomy and physics at the same time, but we had a schedule conflict and they did not give me a math class, which math is my favorite subject. And I was like, of course I need math. Like, what the heck? So I couldn't take physics. So I just took anatomy. But I loved anatomy. Me and my anatomy teacher, or my anatomy teacher and I would always talk about like medicine and my research ideas for the future and all this kind of stuff. And he was super sweet. He would let me do like dissections. Like, we did this dissection in class of a rat, which I'd obviously already done at Georgetown. So I kind of knew what I was supposed to be doing and whatever. And like, no one in my group wanted to touch the rat, so I like literally had the rat to myself for like 5 days straight. And at the end, like, he was like, yours is amazing, like, you're gonna be the model for this class. I was like, thank you so much, like, yay. And he's like, do you want to dissect the brain? Because everyone else was like still going and I was like waiting there. And I was like, oh my god, yes. And so he let me like use a bone saw and like do the rat's brain, which might sound gross to some people, but I want to be a neurosurgeon, so it was really cool. And I was like having a great time. And yeah, like, I don't know, I just really took advantage of things in the medical field. And recently, I've been talking about it on a few podcasts because it's meant a lot to me. But I had an opportunity to shadow a trauma surgeon at a hospital near me. And while I was shadowing the trauma surgeon, I was able to go into the trauma bay. So I saw some people like go into the trauma unit and how they, did the initial like testing and stuff. They hooked them up to the thing. I saw some gruesome stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I saw this old lady who, like, she broke her arm and like the bones were sticking out of the arm. And I am so scared. I was like tubing the other day and I was so scared that I was gonna like do that. So I'm like holding on like this. I don't know. It's just like, it was really impactful to see how amazing like the healthcare workers were, and how like I had no reaction because I was like, there's no way this is real. Like, this is like, obviously it's real, but it like doesn't like register in your head as like real when you see all this stuff. But it was super cool. And then I got to see an open heart surgery, and they let me stand where the anesthesiologist is at the edge of the head. Like, I was like looking into the heart. Like, it was so cool. And then I saw 2 orthopedic surgeries. One was a knee replacement, which was, I'll tell you right now, I am not going to be an orthopedic surgeon. And then I saw another one, the lady with like 2 broken legs. And then my favorite, a neurosurgery that I saw. And I talked a little bit about it with our episode with Brittany, Dr. Brittany Ladson. I had like a little experience with that. So yeah, but I absolutely adored that neurosurgeon. Like, I look up to him, and he was super sweet and just wanted me to kind of understand what was going on. And I don't know, I thought that was like a really special experience that I got to have.
That's so amazing that you got to do that. Maddie was sending me pictures of it, not of the surgeries, but of herself in full scrubs and everything. And it just looked incredible. And I think the fact that you got to do that was just amazing. That's such a great opportunity.
I was like the only high school student that the neurosurgeon ever brought in. So it was cool.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was.
I'm done with my makeup. But I had my hair wet and now it's being all funky from my headband, so I'm just trying to tuck it behind because I actually have brunch to go to. I'm part of a rep team for this photography company, and so we're doing a little brunch. So actually, this Got Ready With Me was perfect.
Yeah.
I think we should talk.
but
Oh, you just look cute. It's fine.
Thanks.
But I think as we're kind of coming to an end of this little get ready with me, we should talk about Common App and then our goals for the future. Because as you know, we're both seniors and the Common App just opened as well as all the other application portals like the UCs and other schools. So we're definitely knee deep in the admissions process right now of starting to write our essays, letters of recommendation, et cetera, et cetera. So want to talk a little bit about what schools you're thinking or what you want to major in, things like that.
Yes, of course. I have been waiting for this moment my entire life. I'm a college kid. I might be a senior, but I am a college kid. Like I love college. Like I'm so excited to go. And like I've had my experiences with, like the two Georgetown programs. So I kind of know. Oh, by the way, that mascara was like the Ilia one, and then this is just like
Oh, I
Rosebud
love
Cell.
Ilia.
It's so good, their mascara. You can't see it on
Hmm.
here, but like my eyelashes are like good.
No, you can. They do look really good.
Thanks. I have other
Love.
mascaras, but I don't like really. My sister's obsessed. She just like layers and layers, and I'm like, your eyelashes are gonna fall out. But anyways, so yeah, I'm very excited about the Common App. I'm like really just. I have a college counselor, obviously, and my school like provides help, but it's just so stressful because I don't know the SATs, all that stuff, and I don't know about you, but I am not going to take it again. I feel like I'm pretty good, and I don't really want to put myself through that again. I studied so hard. I logged it and I studied for like 50 hours, and I'm like, I'm fine with this. Like my score's fine. But so I'm super stressed out about it, but I'm really excited. I'm writing my personal statement. I'm almost finished with it. I just got to do some editing, I think. But there are some things about the Common App that we could talk about. So, the schools, not every school's on there. Georgetown is not on the Common App. So, you've got to go through their whole other process. And I started the Georgetown application before I went to the Georgetown thing this year because it came out early. And of course, I would love to go there, but it is super expensive and they're just really there are things about other schools that are also great. So I'm really torn right now. I don't have a certain school, but some schools at the top of my list are University of Washington in Seattle. That's like really high up there. Johns Hopkins. I hope I get in there. Georgetown, obviously, and then some state schools I like, other than George, no, not George Washington, other than University of Washington, are Michigan, Florida State. I mean, if I stay in Florida, I'd go to Florida State, but I don't know. I'm not really. I'm applying to a bunch, but I'm not. I don't really want to go to a super like I don't want to go to an Ivy because I feel like I could get 3 years of college done at a state school because of the college credits I have. And I'd rather do that because I know I'm going to be like in residency and medical school for a long time to become a neurosurgeon. So anything to make that happen faster. And I don't know. So I'm trying to look for a school that has a strong neuroscience or neurobiology program, but also has a strong pre med track because I obviously want to be a neurosurgeon. I'm super inspired and ready to go, and I really like want to become a neurosurgeon and be successful, and I want to be a good doctor, and I want to be trained the best I can. So I'm looking for a school that fits all those boxes, but the main thing is that it has neuroscience because I know you can get into medical school and be a neurosurgeon with a different degree. It's just that to me, it's what I want to study. It's what I want to have on my diploma. And I'm really excited about it. So, oh, also, I forgot Pittsburgh, University of Pittsburgh. I also like that school. Sienna?
Love it. Yeah, we've been talking a lot about this. So I love hearing about it again. But for me right now, being in Arizona, I the Arizona in-state programs are really good financially, and so you do get a lot of money for them. However, I'm really not sure if ASU or U of A or NAU are really schools I would ideally go to. Of course, I'm going to apply to ASU and U of A. I'm not going to apply to NAU. That's up north in Flagstaff, which is just not really the place I enjoy. I actually prefer the Valley, surprisingly. But of those two, I'm going to try to apply to their honors colleges. So ASU has ASU Barrett, which is their honors college, and then U of A has U of A Frankie. Ideally, between those two, I would go to U of A Frankie because they actually are tier one in research and they have a really good medical school down there. So, of course, for undergrad, it would be different. But again, they have a really great medical program. And so that could be financially a very good idea. My dream school right now is UCLA. So I'm definitely applying there. I think I'm also going to apply to UC Irvine, which I was definitely back and forth on, but actually we got to speak to a girl named Kelly who went to UC Irvine, and she's now an osteopathic student. And so she was a really great person to talk to about that, and I kind of re-inspired me to look back into it, and so I think I'm going to apply there. On the East Coast, I'm going to apply to University of Maryland because I actually have in-state tuition there, which would be amazing to go to. Georgetown, of course. And then I want to apply to one or two Ivies. I'm definitely going to apply to Columbia. And then right now, I think the other Ivy I really want to apply for is Brown. It was a very back and forth, again, kind of situation I was having. But yesterday, actually, I work at a restaurant at the moment. And I was talking to a guy, and he had a really thick kind of New York, like New England accent. And so I asked him, "Oh, are you from the Brooklyn area?" And he said, "No, he's actually from Rhode Island." And so I told him I was interested in Brown. And him and I had a really good conversation for maybe 5-10 minutes about all the really great things about being on the East Coast in the Providence area. And it really, again, inspired me to possibly look into Brown as the other school I'm going to apply to. So those are the main ones. Oh, and NYU. But of course, financially, there are major setbacks with that. So, of course, again, applying to a ton of scholarships and working on the Common App. And finally, which I can't believe I'm saying this because it sounds like I have so many options, but I also am a dual citizen with the UK. And so I'm actually applying to a couple schools in London, which will be amazing, depending on if I get in. But international applications are so difficult, and so they're definitely very time consuming. So my counselor and I are doing a lot of work on those.
I remember when I first met you at Georgetown, that's what you were talking about, the international kind of schooling. And I think that's super cool. I'm not a dual citizen, so would not do that. But I could see how cool that could be because, like Oxford and stuff, that's cool.
Yeah,
And
Oxford's amazing. It's really strict, though, actually, with international students, especially from the US. You need at least a 1460 and then multiple AP tests pass with fives to even, I think, be considered, which is crazy, at least for Oxford, because, of course, that's the number one college in the nation, or in the world, actually. So I get that on their prestige level, but there's still some really good ones over there, like UCL, which is University of the City of London, and
oh,
some
yeah.
others like Imperial College and things like that, which are still very good but different. But otherwise, if I can't or I choose not to go to a school in the UK, I would love to do a study abroad program again where I could possibly go. Maybe if it's even not to the UK, but I took Spanish and took AP Spanish in high school. I'm not taking it this year, but I did, and I passed. So I'll be getting my seal of biliteracy, which will be really cool. So possibly doing a study abroad in Spain or something would be amazing as well to really, again, kind of respark the Spanish speaking that I learned, and the culture I think is really cool. But major wise, which I'm still kind of up in the air about, but I am right now really interested in public health. And so learning about disease and how that kind of has played a role in bigger societies and kind of public matters that can be taken into account when thinking about health and how we can improve it as a whole, I think is really interesting. Also, I think doing like a minor in women's health and environmental science would be really cool as well if I double minored or did a double major. Those are other things I'm really interested in. And then, of course, taking the pre med track at the moment is what I want to do. And I would, yeah, right now I think OBGYN is where my head is at. So of course, subject to change, but that's like the goal right now.
Yeah, I think it's so cool that you're like applying to like out of the country and like you're just so open to it. I'm like I would be so scared, but I do want to study abroad. I was kind of talking about it with Dr. Brittany Ladson. I thought
Mhm.
that I didn't think that like being a pre-med, like aren't you doing like stuff to prepare like for medical school? Like I didn't think you would have time to do study abroads, but she was like, "Yeah, you can study abroad." And I want to go to Switzerland so badly. It's like my dream. And I'm gonna if the school I choose has it, I would love to do that. It's not like the top of my list. It's not like something I need to do because I could always go to a third party kind of company um to do that, but I would love to do that if possible. And yeah, I'm really nervous about the college applications.
Me too.
We will make a video and like we should make like those videos that like people make when they like open their applications and then we'll make a podcast about
I think
it.
I'm gonna be so humbled, but yeah,
Yeah, me
I
too, but
will.
whatever. It's kind of fun and I
I'm
always like watch them. So, I don't know. We'll keep you guys updated obviously. It's so
yeah.
nerve-wracking because the admissions come out at various times. Like pits are rolling,
Mhm.
but Washington is not, and I have to wait till March for that. So it's like I don't want to wait that long, but I really thought about this the other day, and I feel like somebody could do really good research on how teenage acne during the college season like is really high.
So true. My stress acne is bad. Like, I don't know if you can see, but like I've gotten cystic acne like on the side of my head, and I only get cystic acne when I'm stressed. And I really think it's from just college admissions opening. I'm already in school, so that's obviously played a major role as well. Arizona school starts so early, so
I start
it's been intense.
school like in 2 weeks, but you told me that. So we went to Disney together a few weeks ago. We'll
A
put
few
some
months
pics
ago.
in. Yeah, a few months. What am I saying? Weeks.
Crazy. Well, it feels like yesterday. I competed for ICDC DECA. It was our international competition, and it was in Disney World, Orlando. So Maddie and I got to see each other.
Yeah, I don't live near Orlando, but I was like, I'm going. So I just
It was
went
so
up.
fun.
Yeah, like my school was competing too, but I'm not in DECA because like I am not that side of the brain prominent. But I went. I was like, oh my god, I have to see Sienna. So we went together to Disney. We had a whole issue with her ticket because she left it on the bus. And then what was that girl,
Um,
Sarah or something? Sarah from Literal.
Char.
No, the girl that found it.
Oh yeah, she was
Sarah from
working
like
there.
Pittsburgh or something or like Pennsylvania. We have a
Yeah.
video. I'll find it. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, she found my ticket that I left on the bus. I was having like an almost breakdown, and at that point, I was like, I'm just buying a ticket. I don't even care. I was like, I'm going. And it already had taken an hour for me to even find Maddie because the bus dropped us off at the wrong stop. And so we were trying to get into Hollywood Studios or whatever it's called, and they dropped us off near Animal Kingdom, and that's far. With Disney World, there's like a good 15-minute bus ride between the two. And so we had to somehow like get down there to even find Maddie. And then I left my ticket. It was a disaster, but it all worked out.
We went on
It
like
was
3 rides, but we hung out. We had a great time. We ate at like a restaurant.
it
It's
was really fun. We had a great time.
and
And that's
then
kind of what inspired us to make this podcast. We were like, we need to do something where we're still talking and like connecting because at that point it was almost a year that we'd seen each other and I was like, it's just been too long. Like we need to like do something together because we have while like we are obviously different people, we still have very similar interests and like goals. And so we were like, we need to do something where like we combine forces.
mhm.
And here is the pre-med pod.
Yes. And
Like,
I feel like we're pretty entertaining, so it's like good.
yeah, we bounce off each other definitely a lot.
And it's like nerve
It's
wracking, guys. You don't understand. It's so scary when we're talking to like these like good, these amazing people, and I'm like, I don't know what if I'm gonna say something wrong, and I get like really nervous. But I feel like we're getting the hang of it.
yeah, especially like when we're off air, we're like, hi, okay, we're gonna start, like, this is gonna be so much fun, but in my heart is beating out of my chest.
But it's
But
so
every time it
interesting.
turns out really fun.
Yeah, and I wanted to add this in because I think it's important that we really want to emphasize and inspire women in the medical field, because I feel like that's not as talked about as it should be. And just a little statistic for you: only 219 out of the 3,500 board certified neurosurgeons in the United States are women. And like, that's less than my class, like my graduating class. So it's like a fraction of my graduating class. And just to put that into perspective. And I feel like the medical field is like dominantly, or not dominantly, primarily dominated by men. And although recently it has kind of become a topic of conversation about women in the medical field and STEMinism and women in STEM, it is not where it should be in 2023. So that is one of our main goals with this podcast. Of course, it is to further our knowledge on, the medical field and different specialties, and to help you guys, the viewers, to, discover new things. But it's also important that our guests kind of contribute to our goal of feminism, because it is something super important and close to my heart, as I know it is for Sienna. And we just think that's super important as well. So we hope you guys like resonate with that.
Yeah, it's so important, especially today, that we're talking about it, because obviously, as women, we've come such a long way in our careers and what we're able to do, but there's still so much room for improvement. And I think overall, just don't settle for good enough or just okay. Like, you can pursue anything that you think you can, and especially in the medical field. One woman actually, who I always see when I'm walking my dog, she majored in chemistry and wanted to do something in that, and actually got spoken out of it by her professor because she was a woman. And he downtrodden her and told her that she wasn't going to get anywhere, and found out after that he did that to every single woman in that course. And so it was, I think she said, only 4 or 5 women of originally 50 graduated with the chemistry degree that she wanted. And so she tells me, and I want to tell you this: don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something because of your sex. It's so important that as a woman, you are strong willed and that you pursue what you can, and don't let people talk you out of something, because you are so much stronger than you think. And female representation, especially in STEM now in the medical field, is so, so important. And you can really do anything you want. So hold your ground, be true to yourself, and you are so powerful.
Yes.
Little words of wisdom.
Yes, words of wisdom from Sienna and I. Sienna and me, actually. I've been so conscientious because I have noticed that I have been saying it wrong. Like,
my grandma, we call her Grammar Grandma, because she does that to me all the time. Where if I say me and, or something and me, and it's supposed to be and I or and me, she's on it. So every time I say something wrong, she's in my head.
no, I get so nervous that I'm going to be like clowned.
It's okay.
But whatever.
We're human.
Yeah.
We're learning.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we hope you guys resonated with that, because, it's something super important to us, and it should be important to everybody. And as Dr. Ladson told us and talked about in her podcast, and not in her podcast, in her TED Talk, there has been an increase of women in the medical field, but in residency programs and in hospitals, there is a lot of work that needs to be done. So that'll come in time, and it'll also come with you guys, people that really go for that and do what they want despite the doubters.
Yes, we are the next generation of the medical field and the career and workforce in general. So we do have the power to be different and progress and really represent what we are here for. And so, to wrap this up, we hope you enjoyed our little get ready with me.
Ignore my headphones. They're really bulky, I promise. I usually use these, but I can't for some reason because I don't think they connect with the little like thing I have. But yeah. You guys can now find us on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, and Google Podcasts. We are trying to get our podcast out on more platforms, but so far those are the 4. This one is going to be a special on YouTube because we wanted you guys to see how we did our makeup. But yeah, go check us out, follow us, subscribe, leave a like and a comment. Anything helps. Share. We're trying to reach as many people as we can. It doesn't just have to be teenagers. It doesn't even have to be women. Just anyone who wants to hear us and cares about this. So, yeah, go follow us.
We hope you took something out of today, and we'll try and link stuff if we can.
Yes,
for the products that we used.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we hope you enjoyed, learned a lot, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.